Hey guys, today I'm showing off my G&L L-2000 bass. If you don't know about G&L, it's a company created by George Fullerton and Leo Fender in the late 70s or early 80s. A little bit of history. So Fender obviously started Fender in the 40s. In 1950 or 51 he created the precision bass. Later went on to create the jazz bass. And then sold the Fender company to CBS. After that, he slowly worked back into the business by starting a company called CLF Research and by investing in Music Man, who was making amps at the time. In the 70s, Leo Fender started producing guitars for Music Man, and that went on for maybe like 5 years. CLF Research was creating all the Music Mans, and eventually that went south. The relationship soured and they stopped working together, and Music Man was eventually sold off to Ernie Ball, who went on to become a pretty good company, and Leo Fender started G&L with George Fullerton and continued to innovate. So to me, the L-2000 is the result of Leo Fender's 30 years of bass innovation and incrementally making the instrument cooler and better. So as you can see, the body is quite similar to a P-bass shape. It's got the horn on both ends like a precision bass. The pickup configuration kind of reminds me of a jazz bass, only doubled. And then the actual pickups themselves, the humbucking style, remind me more of a Stingray bass, which is a bass that Leo Fender designed for Music Man. So to me, it's kind of the cross between a P bass, a jazz bass, a Stingray. You've got electronics that are more like Music Man and modern Stingray, but you've got some of the basic body styling of the P bass. So just to give you an overview of the neck of this particular bass, G&L does do custom basses, so you can order whatever you want. But here's what this bass has: is a maple neck. It's got the standard G&L tuners. I can't get a good shot of them, but they're just standard open back tuners. This bass has an ebony fretboard, which is a little bit more rare. They're usually rosewood. The neck is connected on the back with a 6-bolt configuration. Earlier models have a 3-bolt diamond-shaped neck plate instead of this configuration, but I think this is probably a more solid, stable bolt-on neck configuration. There's a panel to cover the electronics, and this is where the 9-volt batteries are. On the front, you have 2 MFD humbucking pickups. MFD stands for magnetic field design. This is an original and new design by Leo Fender that is specific to G&L basses and guitars, actually. And then for the electronics, you have a volume, treble bass knobs, pretty standard configuration. And you got more switches than Snoop Dogg's Ride. You got a pickup selector, so forward is neck, middle is both, back is bridge pickup. This is supposed to be a 2-switch selector, but mine is 3, and it's just series or parallel. It still functions like a 2-way switch. And then in the back, you have a 3-way switch, and forward is preamp plus a treble boost. Middle is preamp on, and back is passive. I wanted to point out that the bass and treble knobs work in both passive and active mode. Anyway, this is a very cool bass. It's got a very big growly sound, and it could do anything in between. So let's give it a listen. Okay, so we're gonna first hear this bass wide open, and by that I mean volume bass, or volume treble bass all the way up, both pickups on, the pickups in series mode, so that's a bass boost, and then the preamp on with the treble boost. Okay, next we'll keep all the same settings, but let's just hear the neck pickup only. Next, let's hear the bridge. So everything is still fully on, but just the bridge pickup. And by the way, this setting makes it sound kind of like an L-1500. Next, let's hear both pickups, but with the preamp only on. Okay, the next setting will be the neck on with the preamp setting in the middle position. Alright, with the same settings, let's hear the bridge pickup. Alright, next we'll hear both pickups and the preamp in the off position or in the back position. Okay, now let's hear the neck pickup with the preamp off. Alright, now we'll hear the bridge pickup with the preamp in the off setting. Okay, so now we're switching over to parallel mode on the pickup wiring, and we'll hear both pickups, and let's switch the preamp mode to on, which is the middle position. Alright, let's hear same settings, but just the neck pickup. Alright, the last setting we're going to show is the bridge pickup with parallel mode set. parallel mode, and the preamp set to on. Okay, so there's a few more tones in there that we could have done. We could have heard a few more combinations of parallel mode, pickup setting with different preamp settings. But I think after a while it gets hard to tell the difference, and it's really up to you to get an idea if this is the kind of bass you like, and then decide what setting is best for your amp. So as we're listening through, you might decide that the most active, completely open sound sounds the best. But then once you hook that up to your amp, this is a pretty hot bass output-wise, so you might find that another setting's actually best for your amp settings, and then you'll have to fine-tune your amp. So it's really hard to just watch a video and figure out what you like the best with a bass with this many controls and options. But it does give you a wide range of tones, and a lot of them sound really good. This is a really great bass. It's well designed. It's the US models are really well made. I haven't tried a Tribute, but I'm sure they're very nice instruments as well. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope this video helped you out. If so, please subscribe. I post a lot of different videos on different types of gear. Thanks, and bye now.